Hey guys, good evening. It is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. It's great to be with you. It is Tuesday evening, ladies and gentlemen. That is Tuesday, May 21st, 2024. And it is so very good to be with you on another great show here, Inspirations for Your Life. Thanks so much for all the love and supporting me. Really do appreciate that. Please do check out BelieveMeAchieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations. And really love you to check that out. And also follow me for all of my great stuff, which I know you guys will definitely want to check out. So why not do that, everyone? So whether you're here at 11:22 p.m., 11:22 a.m., 3 a.m., 3 p.m., 6 a.m., 6 p.m., it doesn't really matter. Thank you so much for being here. If you haven't noticed, my hat's right here. BelieveMeAchieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations that will empower and change your life. All right, guys, let's get right into the master topic for the week. You already know what it is, but in case you don't, I'm going to tell you. It's understanding auditory precision and its impact. Series 3, Show 21. We're in the third year, by the way. That's our third series. The master topic's granular moment, kind of driving home, is Unveiling Super Hearing, Animal versus Human Auditory Abilities, Series 3, Show 21, Episode number 4. So when we think about hearing sensitivity in nature, we can think about things like, the waterfall. We can think about the rustling of the leaves. We can think about birds chirping. We could think about dogs barking, right? We could think about seals, dolphins making those great sounds. We can even think about, the sounds that are made by our breath, like when we blow out something, right? So having an acuity to be able to sense what a sound is and developing this is really, really cool, ladies and gentlemen. I have to tell you that. So I want to share with you the fact that sensitivity in nature is the key, ladies and gentlemen, to having an amazing life because you unlock so many great things. All right, well, I'm not just going to stop there. So tonight, let's talk about more, which is animals with extraordinary hearing abilities. This is pretty cool. So when we think about this, a lot might come to mind. First of all, I don't know if you guys know, but your hearing is amazing. And if you think it's very impressive, you should probably understand the fact that the animal kingdoms can even hear even more. So the human, basically, your hearing ranges from 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz, or 20,000 hertz, according to studies by the National Institute of Health. And let's think about these numbers, because now let's think about the numbers like those that would be heard by a dog. So maybe you notice that a dog barks at a slightly sound off in a distance that might catch your attention. Even a dog barking multiple streets away might actually cause your dog or another dog to bark in return. That's because the hearing of a dog is 40 to 60,000 hertz. Remember, humans' ears, they are between 20 hertz. That's 20 kilohertz or 20,000 hertz. And dogs are between 40 and 60,000 hertz. The human ear can only hear between 20. So dogs hear unique things, that they can hear sounds that are as low as 15 decibels loud. The American Kennel Club says that it's the sensitivity to sound that allows dogs to pick up even the quietest noises that humans sometimes will miss. Now, there is also an interesting thing when we talk about owls. So maybe if you've ever seen an owl, maybe just think about that for a moment. It's usually at night, or at least it's in a very dark place, okay? When you think of an owl, it can find food and thrive in the dark. And they can't see as well. So they rely on their keen sense of hearing. Owls have ear openings called apertures on the sides of their heads covered by feathers. And the owl pages notes that what you might think are the ears at the top of the owl's head are actually simply feathers. The owl pivots and their head to pick up any sound and also get the direction of it. Now, also another cool animal is dolphins. So dolphins are amazing because they have a special capability called echolocation. And this has been brought to our attention by the Dolphin Communication Project. Now, dolphins hear hits of up to 150 kilohertz. So that's high. They create clicking sounds that bounce off of objects, and the dolphins listen for these high-frequency clickings to determine where they are in relation to their surroundings. And humans can hear some of the lower-pitched dolphin sounds. The majority we can't hear, unfortunately. Dolphins also whistle in order to communicate with other dolphins, which sound different from their clicking. So another animal that has some interesting things when it comes to hearing is bats. I know you probably don't want to hear about bats. Bats are the other animal that we often think of when we consider echolocation, because bats click their tongues or release sounds through the nostrils that amplify the noise, and Scientific American says the sound is almost like hitting rock against rock. The sound produces between 50 and 120 decibels, which is loud, but not enough to permanently damage a human hearing in short bursts. Bats listen for the echo to bounce back of the sound to find out where they are in the world. Every animal hears in a very, very unique way. So now that we understand a little bit about the fact that animals have some pretty cool hearing, I mean, I think that's just amazing. So the thing I want to share with you is animals use their hearing to survive. That's a really cool one, right? Animals use their hearing to survive. That just kind of blows me away. Maybe you stop to imagine your five senses, right? As humans can detect and perceive what's in the world. But due to differences in anatomical structures between animals and humans, our perception of the world differs from theirs. We see color differently than many animals due to evolution. Animals tend to rely on some senses more than others. And this reliability is often due to the body's need to protect itself from its environment and any dangers, predators, or demands that present themselves to them. So animals with overdeveloped senses, humans and animals both share the same five senses. They can see, they can hear, they can smell, they can touch, and they can taste. So pretty interesting. But animals, however, unlike humans, have some senses that are more acute than others. Due to the evolution of the animals' bodies, they've developed in such a way that the specific senses have been magnified in order to make their living possible, because the problem is that they might be killed if they're not aware of things. So they overdevelop their senses. For example, sight gives us the ability to see, and we're able to interpret our surrounding environment, okay? We all know that saying eyes or our windows to the world, it's well for some animals. Eyes are considered much more than that. It's actually the lifesaver for them. Eagles, you might have heard before. You've heard this expression. Have you ever heard the expression that someone has eagle eye vision? Well, this analogy consists of the fact that their part of their eyes, their cone retinas, and deep senses, eagles are capable of perceiving prey at a distance of 4 to 8 times greater than a human being. And allows them to hunt, okay? Now, cats, domestic cats, have excellent night vision, which is why they prefer to hunt at night. The cat's eye contains a membrane called a tapetum lucidum, and the membrane's job is to reflect even the smallest amount of light received by the eye. Flies, the eye of a fly contains 3,000 lenses, which explains their super developed eyesight. And their eyes are formed by thousands of small panels, able to perceive movement of up to 200 frames per second. Wow. So hearing, thanks to our ears, humans are able to hear, and animals have the capability to perceive sound. It's known as auditory perception, okay? The difference, as we said, is the frequency is different between what we can hear and what they can hear, right? The fact that they can hear a lot lower sounds. Dogs are known as companion animals, and not only for reasons of sympathy and charisma, but also for their senses. A dog is able to perceive sounds up to 30 kilometers away. So if you wanted to know what that is, according to the book, so 30 kilometers to meters, or I should say not to meters, it's really 30 kilometers, really I want to go to feet. It's actually going to translate 30 kilometers to feet will turn out to be roughly 30 kilometers to feet is 98,425 feet. That's a lot of feet. And, you know, thinking about other animals, there are lots of other animals, right? So we talked about the hearing. Moths have the ability to increase sensitivity hearing in order to survive. And then we have some that can do other types of things, right? But we're really just talking about the eyes tonight and also the ears, because the thing is, ears are amazing, the sense. So you might be asking, so what animal has the best hearing? What do you think it is? Well, the best hearing, the very, very best hearing in the order of priority. Fish have sensitive hairs, cilia, that can help catch sound, and some fish also use their bladders or stones called otoliths to their skulls to catch sounds in the water. Frogs lack outer ears. Still, they have a tympanum, a membrane that covers the inner ear and helps transmit sound, and reptiles are better adapted to hearing vibrations that are spreading through the land. Now, birds' ears are complex. They have an outer ear, a middle ear, and an inner ear. They also have an oculus, small ear bone, and a tympanum, and a cochlea with sensitive hair. Mammals have the most complex ear structure compared to other tetrapoid vertebrates. They have inherited the staped bone from the reptiles. So the thing is this, each animal has a very specific hearing range, and they have sounds that can be perceived and measured in frequencies. Now, human ears can hear in the wide range of 20 to 20,000. Okay? Sounds below 20 hertz are called infrasonic. And these sounds are with higher frequencies are called ultrasonic. So we have regular range, we have infrasonic, which is below 20, and then we have ultrasonic, okay, which is higher than 20, all right? So regular, you've got 20, below 20 is infrasonic, and above 20 is ultrasonic. And a lot of animals and insects have adapted to either hear in a broader range or to hear particular types of sounds, either infrasonic, right? And again, we know infrasonic are the sounds with the higher, and infrasonic, and the sounds with the higher frequency are called ultrasonic. So those sounds below are infra, in, and the ones above are called ultra. So a vampire bat has a high sensitivity hearing at the lowest frequencies on land. And vampires, bats, as you may know, are small animals with relatively small upright ears and black or brown fur. And these bats can be found in tropics and subtropics, where they feed on the blood of birds and large mammals. And the sensitivity of their hearing in bats is legendary, but it also helps them survive so they can get their prey. So I think that's a pretty cool thing, ladies and gentlemen. Bats' ears shape a system in catching sound. Bats produce high-pitched sounds that are used for echolocation. And bats' hearing ranges, compared to humans, are from 716 hertz, wow, to 113 hertz. That's pretty amazing. The particular bat species is unique because they have extreme sensitivity to particularity of low sounds. And it was also discovered that vampire bats can detect breathing sounds and even remember them. That is pretty cool. Now, barn owls are highly sensitive directional hearing. They are hidden behind the feathers, and there's no outer ear. The ears are asymmetrically, one higher and one lower, and the face disc of the owl helps it catch sound waves. That's amazing. The hearing range of an owl is between 200 hertz and 12 hertz. Wow. and hearing of an owl does not decline with its age. Wolves, best long-distance hearing. They're amazing. The ears are triangular in shape and can rotate to better capture sounds, right? Wolves can hear up to 80 kilohertz sometimes, and the usual hearing range of the gray wolf is between 25 kilohertz. Now, the wolf can hear sounds from a considerable distance, from 10 to 16 kilometers, if there are no obstacles. And because they can do acute directional hearing, wolves have an excellent long-distance communication, and wolves and dogs can hear very quiet sounds between 5 and 15 decibels. The pigeon is great for hearing at low frequencies. The upper limit for a pigeon is as high as 10 kilohertz. You got the Gen 2 penguin that can hear underwater. They can hear in a range between 100 hertz and 15,000 hertz. Penguins are known to make sounds underwater, and penguins can close down their ears when they deep dive. That is just pretty remarkable. You got a humpback whale, best with low frequency hearing underwater. And you also have the ability with them is that their outer ear is a small opening in the skull without outer structures. And the hearing range of a humpback whale is between 15 hertz and 3 kilohertz. Okay. Killer whales are very good for hearing underwater. Their range is between basically from 0.5 to 42 kilohertz. In some cases, killer whales can detect sounds at higher frequencies that reach 120 kilohertz, though their sensitivity to such high sounds is low. Killer whales also use echolocation for detecting prey and coordinating hunting strategy, and hearing plays a huge part in this process for them. Elephants, best hearing of low-frequency sounds on land. So, pretty cool. Elephants have large ears, as we know. They can hear between 10 to 16 hertz. Elephants do not have keen high-frequency hearing, though. While humans can hear as high as 20,000 hertz, elephants can detect sounds no higher than 12,000 hertz. Elephants communicate with low-frequency sounds, and elephants can detect underground vibrations with their feet. Rat sensitivity to high frequency of sounds, 250 hertz to 80 hertz. A rabbit can have a very interesting capability of having the ability to rotate basically its ears 270 degrees. And each rabbit can rotate separately to precisely pinpoint the direction. The rabbit's hearing range is 360 hertz to 42,000 hertz. Catfish, well, they can basically go between 50 and 1,000. Invertebrates have definitely evolved. In insects and organs that help them hear have evolved 19 times over the years. You got the wax moth that can hear the best at 80 kilohertz, as high as 212 kilohertz. You've got the bladder grasshopper that can hear between relatively low sounds 60 to 98 decibels. You've got the katyidid, highly sensitive ears with an eardrum, little green kind of like grasshopper, and it's able to hear between 5,000 and 50,000 hertz. Praying mantis, a unique group of insects that have only one ear, and they can hear between 30 and 60 kilohertz. That's amazing. These insects are predators, and they usually mimic harmless objects like twigs, and they wait for their potential prey, smaller insects, and they are often food sources for bats as well. Previously, it was thought that manatees are deaf, but this theory was later proven wrong. The manatees are often, like I said, food for bats, which unfortunately isn't a good thing. So a praying mantis has only one ear, as we said, and the mantis uses its ear to detect bat calls as a predator evasion strategy. That's like amazing. Mosquitoes range between 150 to 500 hertz. So there's a difference between our hearing and animals' hearing. So once again, what is the range of human hearing. So the range of human hearing basically goes from 20 to 20,000 hertz, but it is considerable in the variation between individuals at high frequencies and a gradual loss of sensitivity to higher frequencies. So the fact that we have this amazing ability is really crazy. So it affects what types of sounds we're able to see. Think of it like a filter, like a certain range. So we know that these sounds we're talking about is for survival and thriving. It's not just so they can hear anything. And we know that human capabilities from 20 to 20,000 hertz, 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz, that's a big difference to animals. They can hear, right? They can hear a lot more, and some can hear a lot lower. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It's been a privilege, pleasure, and honor to be with you this fantastic evening. And I want to let you know we're going to continue this piece on animals because there's still some more things I want to share with you guys in regard to hearing and some other abilities. So we're going to have a part 2 of this animal with human auditory and some other things that I think are going to really amaze you. So definitely check out BelieveMeAchieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations. Definitely subscribe to all my great content and do follow me on TikTok, and I'll catch you guys real soon, all right? Have yourself a fantastic evening, and remember, everyone, take care of your hearing. Preserve it, and you might just be able to not only save it, but you might be able to enhance it.